Where did I grow up? I actually grew up in a town of about 500 people called Fall River Mills with my siblings. I have 7 brothers and sisters, and I lived there till about 18 years old.
Did you always want to be a singer?
Did I always want to be a singer? I've always wanted to be a singer. I've heard that I wanted to be a singer since when I was born, because my grandma said that I was screaming coming out of the womb, and the only time I would shut up, she said, is when she started singing, and then when she'd stop singing, I'd cry again. So they say since I was born, but from my point of view, I wanted to be a singer ever since I was about 3 years old.
Who was your inspiration?
Who was my inspiration? Well, I love to sing, so that would have to be the greats like Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Mariah Carey, and I also have a great love for Selena. And I grew up going to different competitions and shows, singing their songs.
How did you get signed to Sweetbox?
How did I get signed to Sweetbox? Well, it kind of was like all meant to be. I mean, I worked for this modeling agency, and I wasn't really interested in modeling because, I mean, I was just so interested in getting a deal. And so she said, okay, you know, I'll help you out. And so we looked online, and we found that Sweetbox was holding an audition. They needed a new female singer. So we sent them my CD, we sent them my pictures, and a few days later we got a call from them, and they wanted to meet me in LA. And so I did, and I sang for them, and I recorded in the studio, and a few days later I was signed. And since then my life has just been totally crazy, but a blessing.
What are your plans for the future?
What are my plans for the future? I plan on doing so much. I mean, I haven't even gotten started. I mean, I've gotten started, but there's so much. I want to sing for every country. I want clothing lines. I want to act, and I just want to take over the world.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where do I see myself in 10 years? I see myself at award shows, Grammys, maybe the Oscars, and continuing to make many more albums throughout the years.
What do you like to do for fun?
What do I like to do for fun? Well, I'm such a people person, so I mean, I love going out to clubs. I love going to, you know, get-togethers, parties, barbecues. I love being around people all the time. But then sometimes one of my favorite things to do is actually just sit at home and watch a good movie. I'm a movie freak.
What kind of guys do you like?
What kind of guys do I like? It's so weird. I'm such a sucker for bad boys. I mean, there could be a nice guy who's like, oh, this, I'll give you the world, this, that, and I don't know, and I always just fall for the guy who's just like giving me an attitude. I don't know why. I'm weird.
What has changed since you became a part of Sweetbox?
What has changed since I became a part of Sweetbox? You know, coming from a really small town, and you know, just going to school every day, working at my grandma's restaurant, to traveling the world, traveling to Sweden, to Germany, to London, New York, Nashville, I mean, Japan. I've been around the world, and it's amazing. It's just such a blessing.
How was it working with all the top-level songwriters and producers in Europe and America?
How was it working with all the songwriters and producers? It was just such an incredible experience, and I mean, I'm going to learn so much from it. I mean, I've already learned so much from it to last me like my entire life. I'm going to take something of what I learned from them with me in my future career.
How long you were working on the actual album?
How long was I working on this album? Well, at first we had to write the album, so it was traveling to all these different countries, writing with songwriters. And once we got the songs, then I started working in the studio with Derek Bramble. And from then it took about 5 months to do the production and the vocals, and then it was done.
How is the producer Derek Bramble?
How is it working with Derek Bramble? I mean, he's amazing. He's such a talented producer. He's such a perfectionist. I mean, we're both such perfectionists that sometimes, you know, we get in our little arguments, but overall, I mean, he's so talented. And I'm so, like, it was just amazing working with him.
Tell us a little bit about your first 2 videos.
What was it like making my first 2 videos? It was just out of this world. I mean, not being in the music industry and then finally getting signed and then making my first 2 videos, I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I walked into the room and there was just cameras everywhere, makeup, hair, dancers, and the food table. That was one of the coolest things ever.
Where you shot the videos?
Where did I shoot the videos? The first video, Crash Landed, was actually in a big warehouse. We had to find like a dark indoor place because the theme was kind of dark and there was dancers and all that. And my second video was actually on Malibu Beach. It was freezing, I might add. I was in my little tank top, but I pulled it off. Oh, and I have to add that the car I was driving was like the hardest stick shift in the world to drive, and I had to drive it back and forth like 100 times.
Tell us a little bit about your life. What's your favorite artist?
What is my favorite artist? I have to say Michael Jackson. I love you, Michael.
You are actually working on the next album already. How is songwriting going on?
How's songwriting going on this next album? It's actually going quite well. I mean, from all the experience and all the songwriters that I've met, like in the past, working with my first album, I just have learned so much that this time I just have so much to write about and just so many like emotions coming out. So it's going great. This time it's going really good.
Hey, what do you want to tell your fans in Korea?
What do I have to say to my fans in Korea? I just want to say thank you so much for all of your support. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy my new album as much as I enjoyed making it. Saranghayo!